Hi guys, Children Ralph. Welcome back to my channel. If this is your first time here, I have an early childhood program in my home where I care for up to 14 little ones under the age of 5, and I create content to help you run an amazing early childhood program in your home. So if you're new to our channel, you're going to want to make sure to hit that subscribe button and follow along with our journey, because I'm going to be sharing a ton of productivity tips for you if you are a stay-at-home mom or an early childhood provider. Okay, so I recently had somebody who asked me if I could go over my meal prep planning because I have gone from having 6 kids to 14. So how has the process changed, and what am I doing right now in order to make sure that I am able to feed all these kids? Because meal planning is a bit of a project, as we all know. Even just regular moms without 14 kids, you know how much work it is to plan meals for the kids and to be able to budget, especially right now with everything that's going on with our economy. Okay, so my number one tip is to have rotating menus. It's super easy to do. I mean, if you're sitting down and thinking about it, there's a lot of meals that you have that are pretty, regular or routine in your household. One of the things that I use to plan my meals is I think, okay, well, one day I want to do sandwiches. What kind of sandwiches can I make? Another day I'm going to do pasta. What kind of pasta can I make? And then I think of like 3 or 4 different kinds of pasta, 3 or 4 different kinds of sandwiches. Chicken, how many different ways can you make chicken? That's super simple. Some of your family favorites, whatever it is, like you can come up with 5 different ways to think about how you can make a menu that is similar but different and easy to follow. So that's my number one tip, is have several different menus. What I would do too, what I did in the beginning whenever I started, freshening up my menus, is just thinking for 1 week, okay, what am I going to do for this 1 week? And then write out all of the menus. And I actually have paper menus downstairs in my preschool program. And it's just, I have that for several weeks. Each week for a few months, I just wrote down what my menu was. And so it makes it really easy whenever I have to go grocery shopping for the kids and I don't want to spend a bunch of time rethinking about what I'm going to be feeding them all week. I just snap a quick picture and then I take that with me to the grocery store. That's my list. That's what we're having for the week. Okay. And then the other thing is to shop around inside of your house before you go to the grocery store. Just look around, see what kind of food you have left over from the week before that didn't get eaten. How can you use that food? For instance, like this week, I had my menu. I went and took a picture of that. And then I looked in my refrigerator, my pantry, and I was like, okay, what did I purchase last week that didn't get eaten? Last week I planned on making some sliders for the kids with these Hawaiian rolls that were on sale. So those didn't get eaten last week. They're still good this week. I'm gonna make sure that that's the first thing that we eat on Monday. Another thing is I had lasagna on my list. Well, I didn't need to make lasagna because last week I bought some tortellini that were on sale. I didn't make those. So instead of the lasagna, we're going to do the tortellini this week. So those are a couple things that I like to do in my program to make sure that I'm staying on task. The third thing I would recommend is having like specific grocery stores that you go to. When I first started working with children, I had a ton of different grocery stores that I would go to, and I'd always be looking at the flyers or looking at the ads and where do I get to get the best deal. I ended up overwhelming myself because I spent so much time sitting around thinking about where the sales were and coming up with a menu that a large chunk of my weekend would get eaten up from, planning all this stuff. So instead now I just have 3 grocery stores that I go to. I go to the same 3 grocery stores. I mean, unless I want to do something special, then whatever. But I go to Costco pretty regularly, and I go to Kroger because Kroger has the Boost membership and it's right across the street. But the Boost membership is great because if I need something for the next day, I can just go into my Boost, my membership app, and have it delivered right to my doorstep first thing in the morning, and all that food is ready, so I'm not eating up my whole weekend grocery shopping for the kids. And then the third grocery store that I go to is Meijer because I just find that it has some of the specialty stuff that I like to provide for my own family, and then also it's open 24 hours. So those are the 3 grocery stores that I use, and that is what I do for my meal planning strategy. Okay, and so about my budget. So I like my budget to be around $1,400 a month. We have 14 kids enrolled in the program, so $1,400 a month is about $100 per kid per month. I try to stick around that for our grocery list and our food. That includes things like baby wipes, paper towels, those kinds of things. Most months I am able to stay within that. It also includes some of our personal food. We also go out on the weekends sometimes too, because I'm meal planning for 14 people all day, 5 days a week. So if I go out on the weekends, I'm not going to sweat that as far as like my budget. But sometimes we have food left over and we'll eat that. Other times we'll go out for the weekends because there's just the two of us. All right, so I'm going to show you my grocery haul for the day and show you what I ended up getting this week. Now, again, keep in mind I spent $328 on groceries this week. I already had some things that were left over from last week that are going to be a part of my meal planning for this week. So I'm going to show you what I have here. All right, so we have bananas. Every single week we have bananas, guys. These guys love bananas. We make sure to have a lot of fresh fruits and vegetables for the children. I believe in feeding the children in my program the same thing that I would have fed my children when they were little, and the same thing that I want to eat. So we eat a lot of fresh fruits and vegetables. We have the bananas here. Over here we also have some grapes, and we have some blueberries. We're gonna have blueberries one morning, cherries. We have some tomatoes. I normally buy frozen corn, but this week I wasn't going to be going to my regular grocery store, and Costco has this massive thing of corn, which we just don't end up going through that. It turns into a big yucky ice block. So I like to buy the individual frozen corns from the regular grocery store, or frozen vegetables. I like to buy the individual frozen vegetables, and I didn't think I had any, so I just picked up this canned corn here. Also, I kind of like canned corn, guys. I don't know, whatever. Over here we have some melon. We have one of those. And then we have some of these little snacking cucumbers. We also have some apples, and I had some leftover pears from last week. And then I also got the kids, these guys right here. There was this bacon date goat cheese dip that I wanted to try. So I thought I would get this for the kids. We can have it with our celery, or we could also just have that with some crackers. And then we also have avocado spread. I love having avocado spread. For myself, I like to use large tomatoes, and then I slice them and I make basically like an avocado toast, except for with tomatoes instead of bread. So I really love that. I put a little bit of everything seasoning on here, everything but the bagel seasoning on here. For the kids, I let them do that as well if they want avocado mash on toast, or if they want it on crackers, or if they want it on tacos. So we always keep these little individuals on hand, because I find whenever I get avocados, I don't know, I always have trouble with avocados. I can't always keep track of when they need to get eaten. The other thing that we have on hand is this basil pesto. So I'm going to be making some pasta for the kids one day. I have some chicken thighs here. Those are going to be we're going to make some curry with the chicken thighs. Also, for breakfast, I love to keep these kinds of things. These are on hand really more for the adults. My kids just don't like them, and they're really yummy. We like to have them on hand. So I have a few staff members that come in, and also Joka. We like to have Danishes because they're a yummy treat. Sorry guys, I'm putting you down here. I also keep these on hand for the kids. These are great. I priced out muffins at other places. Sometimes I'll make my own muffins, like with whatever Jiffy mix or whatever, that kind of thing. Other times I'll purchase muffins that are already made from Costco, just because we can cut these in quarters, and it's really good with some fruit. We add some cheese, some milk, whatever it is that we want to add with that. And then over here, another thing, sometimes I do take some help from the store. We love the shepherd's pie from Costco. It's super easy. You just throw it in the oven, cook it for like 45 minutes, and Costco sells this for $20.50. So this will be just enough for my kids. Will probably each just have a piece of this because they're all small kids. Like most of my kids are under the age of 5. So each of the kids will have this, and then there'll probably be enough of this left over for Joke and I to have with dinner. We'll have some salad, or some other, of course, we're going to have some vegetables and fruit on the side with that. Let's see, I got these from Costco. I usually like to get my meat from the deli at Meijer, just because I personally like to be a little more picky about my meat. But this is $13 for 3 of these. So we're going to use these for our Hawaiian rolls. I'm just gonna make little Hawaiian sliders with these, and then I'll probably have the roast beef for Joka because he likes that. So we're gonna do that for him for dinner, or no, I'm sorry, not dinner, for lunch, for work. Oranges, we love oranges. All of the kids love oranges. And one of our practical life skills activities that the kids like to do is to make their own orange juice. It's a really good fine motor activity for the kids. Slice it in half and then have them use like a little orange juice juicer. And they love to do that activity as well. So let's see, what else did we not cover? Ziploc bags. We use a lot of freezer Ziploc bags because obviously we're prepping a lot of food for the kids. And then over here, we have these Glad takeaways. Guys, if you're not using these at home, you totally need to get them. I used to do the Ziploc ones, you know, that had the ones that you can buy at the regular grocery store. These are only $8 for 50 containers, and they're wonderful because all of the lids fit. Whoops, all the lids fit the container, so you're not hunting around inside of your cupboards to try and find the lids and match the right lids. I hate lids for anything that isn't simple like this. These little Glad takeaways. I love the Glad takeaways. I used to have Pyrex and I would put lids on those, but then it became a big lid mess. And you know, when you have a lot of children in your home and you have a lot of things that you need to take care of all the children, having all those extra lids is a giant pain in the butt. Okay, here's another thing that I purchased for the kids. Now, this is not a food item, obviously. I got 2 of these because at the end of the year, right now it's January, and these were only $4.50, guys. I provide winter gear for my kids. I do have another video that I will link down in the comments below once it's finished. But I love to have winter gear for the kids, and I love the kids to have really nice, cozy, snuggly things. We have 2 babies in our program, so I purchased 2 that are matching, and they will coordinate with all of the other winter gear that we have the kids. And these were only $4.50. I mean, come on, $4.50? That's amazing. That was a really great deal. We don't keep our babies out in the winter too much because obviously they're little and we don't want them to get too cold. So if it's too cold, we'll just have them out for a little bit. But these little cozy snugglers are gonna be great for them. Okay, so over here, we also have paper towels. So we have a couple different kinds of paper towels. We use these paper towels for cleaning things, especially like the bathroom. I don't like to use reusable cloths in the bathroom. And I also find that like the Clorox cleanup or whatever, those kinds of things can be kind of expensive. So using some bleach and these to wipe down the bathroom in between, you know, the kids is really nice to have those on hand. We also provide baby wipes for our families. And we keep these on hand for hand washes and face wash, or hands and face in between, like after meals. Of course, we use soap and water for washing it before the meals, but whenever they're done with their crafts or whenever they're done eating, we can just very quickly wipe the kids with these hand wipes here. Also, you know, sometimes too, we'll cut these in half and use those for the kids to make them spread extra far. And then down here we have 4,000 trifold paper towels. So we have gone to using the paper towels for the kids. Whoops, let me get you guys all set up here. Okay, there we go. We've gone to using paper towels for the kids because we just don't want to have to deal, you know, they're not super great at washing their hands all the time. And then there's a lot of this going on. So in order to cut down on the germs in our classroom, we use the trifold paper towels. And I have a couple paper towel dispensers that we use, and we just fill those up and we keep these on hand for that. And then our final thing that I purchased this week for groceries is, hello, winter in Michigan. We have an economy size container of Kleenex. Okay, so I would love some feedback on other content that you would like to hear about. I am going to be making more videos about the actual food prepping part, but that just kind of gives you an idea of how I think about grocery planning and meal planning with all the kids and making sure that everybody has really good, really healthy food. I hope that you all have an amazing rest of your week, and thanks for stopping by.